Imagine reaching an age where most people would quietly slow down, accept the passage of time, and think that their best years are behind them. Now imagine if I told you that even at 80, your body is still capable of remarkable change, renewal, and resilience. If only you understand the silent signals it sends. These signals don't shout, they whisper. They show up as subtle shifts in energy, memory, strength, and even mood. Change is so quiet that most people overlook them, assuming they are just part of getting old. Tonight, I want to take you on a journey inside the body of someone over 80, not to focus on limitations, but to reveal the hidden transformations that happen quietly beneath the surface. You will discover 5 silent changes that almost everyone misses, and more importantly, you'll learn how small, intentional choices can help your body adapt, regenerate, and thrive, even in your later years. By the end of this talk, you won't just see aging as a slow decline, you'll see it as an active, ongoing conversation between your lifestyle and your biology, a conversation that can still be shaped and guided. So stay with me, because what you learn tonight could change the way you think about health, vitality, and longevity, not just for yourself, but for everyone you care about. The secrets your body is quietly trying to tell you are about to be revealed, and they are more powerful than you might ever have imagined. The first keynote reminds us that aging after 80 is not defined by what we see in the mirror, but by what is happening inside the body at a microscopic level. Wrinkles, gray hair, and slower movement are visible signs of time passing, yet the most important changes occur within cells, tissues, and biological systems. One of the most significant shifts is in cellular communication. Cells rely on precise chemical signals to repair damage, regulate inflammation, and maintain balance. With advanced age, these signaling systems can become less efficient, leading to subtle dysfunction long before symptoms appear. Blood vessels may gradually stiffen, reducing the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to organs. The immune system may remain active at a low level even without infection, creating persistent background inflammation that slowly affects tissues. Mitochondria, the energy producers inside cells, may generate less energy and more oxidative stress. Stem cells, responsible for regeneration, decline in both number and effectiveness. These changes are not dramatic or immediately noticeable, but they accumulate over time. Metabolism also shifts internally. The body may process glucose less efficiently, even in individuals who maintain a stable weight. Muscle protein synthesis slows, contributing to gradual muscle loss. The gut microbiome becomes less diverse, influencing immunity, nutrient absorption, and even mood regulation. Because these processes are silent, many older adults attribute subtle fatigue, mild forgetfulness, or reduced resilience simply to normal aging without recognizing the biological mechanisms behind them. Understanding that aging after 80 is driven by internal biological shifts empowers individuals to focus on supporting vascular health, reducing inflammation, preserving muscle, and nourishing cellular repair systems through targeted lifestyle strategies. The second keynote highlights how inflammation often increases silently with advanced age, a process sometimes described as low-grade chronic inflammation. Unlike the sharp, noticeable inflammation that occurs when you cut your finger or develop an infection, this form operates quietly in the background. It does not cause obvious redness, swelling, or pain. Instead, the immune system remains slightly activated over long periods, releasing small amounts of inflammatory molecules into the bloodstream. Over time, this subtle activity can influence nearly every organ system. After 80, the immune system becomes less precise in distinguishing between real threats and normal cellular debris. As damaged cells accumulate and the body's cleanup processes slow down, immune cells may respond as if there is a constant minor injury. Fat tissue, especially around the abdomen, can also release inflammatory signals. Changes in the gut microbiome may allow inflammatory compounds to pass more easily into circulation. Even chronic psychological stress can amplify this low-level immune activation. This persistent inflammatory state can gradually affect blood vessels by damaging their inner lining, making them less flexible and more prone to plaque buildup. In the brain, inflammatory molecules may interfere with communication between neurons. In muscles, inflammation can accelerate protein breakdown, contributing to weakness. In joints, it may worsen stiffness even without overt arthritis. What makes this shift challenging is that standard blood tests may only show mild changes, and individuals often feel generally well. They might notice slower recovery after exertion, slightly more fatigue, or minor aches that seem ordinary for their age. Because the process is gradual and diffuse, it is frequently overlooked, yet it plays a central role in many age-related conditions and reflects a change in how the immune system regulates balance within the body. The third keynote focuses on the gradual loss of muscle mass, known as sarcopenia, which accelerates after the age of 80. This process is often mistaken for simple slowing down, but it represents a measurable biological change in muscle fibers, nerve signaling, and protein metabolism. With advanced age, the body becomes less efficient at synthesizing new muscle proteins, even when adequate nutrition is available. At the same time, muscle breakdown may occur more readily, creating an imbalance that favors loss rather than maintenance. Motor neurons that stimulate muscle fibers can decline in number and function, reducing the strength and coordination of muscle contractions. Fast-twitch muscle fibers, which are responsible for quick reactions and balance correction, are particularly vulnerable. As these fibers shrink or disappear, reaction time slows and the risk of falls increases. Hormonal shifts, including reductions in growth hormone and testosterone, further contribute to decreased muscle repair and regeneration. Another contributing factor is anabolic resistance, a condition in which aging muscles respond less robustly to dietary protein. Even if an older adult consumes similar amounts of protein as before, the muscle-building response may be diminished. Reduced physical activity, whether due to joint discomfort, fatigue, or lifestyle changes, compounds the problem. Over time, muscle tissue can be replaced by fat infiltration, lowering strength without necessarily causing dramatic weight loss. Because the change happens gradually, many individuals adapt by moving more cautiously or avoiding physically demanding tasks, masking the underlying decline. However, muscle tissue is metabolically active and plays a key role in regulating blood sugar, supporting posture, and maintaining independence. The quiet reduction in muscle mass after 80 is therefore not only about strength, but about resilience, stability, and the body's overall metabolic health. The fourth keynote addresses how the immune system becomes less precise and less responsive after the age of 80. This shift is not simply a matter of the immune system becoming weaker, rather it reflects a complex remodeling of immune function. With advancing age, the production of new immune cells declines, particularly in the thymus where T cells mature. As a result, the body has fewer naive T cells available to recognize new infections. Instead, it relies more heavily on memory cells that were formed earlier in life, limiting flexibility in responding to unfamiliar threats. At the same time, certain immune cells may remain chronically activated, contributing to a background level of inflammation. This imbalance creates a paradox. The immune system can be both sluggish and overactive. It may respond more slowly to viruses or bacteria, leading to longer recovery times, yet it may also overreact to minor stimuli, increasing tissue irritation. Antibody production following vaccination can be less robust, and wound healing often slows because immune signaling becomes less coordinated. Cellular communication between different branches of the immune system also becomes less efficient. Signals that once triggered a rapid, targeted response may now be delayed or amplified inappropriately. Natural killer cells, which help eliminate abnormal cells, may decline in function, while regulatory mechanisms that normally calm inflammation may weaken. Nutrient absorption changes, alterations in the gut microbiome, chronic stress, and reduced sleep quality can further impair immune regulation. Because these shifts occur gradually, many older adults only notice subtle signs such as lingering colds, increased fatigue during illness, or slower healing from minor cuts. The underlying change reflects an aging immune network that struggles to maintain balance between defense and control, influencing overall resilience and recovery capacity. The fifth keynote centers on the quiet but significant changes that occur in the gut microbiome after the age of 80. The gut microbiome is a vast ecosystem of trillions of microorganisms, primarily bacteria, that live in the digestive tract and interact continuously with the immune system, metabolism, and even the brain. In advanced age, the diversity and balance of these microbial populations often decline. Beneficial species that produce anti-inflammatory compounds may decrease, while less favorable strains can become more dominant. This shift does not usually cause dramatic digestive illness, but it subtly alters how the body functions. One important consequence is reduced production of short-chain fatty acids, compounds created when beneficial bacteria ferment dietary fiber. These fatty acids help maintain the integrity of the gut lining and regulate inflammation. When their levels drop, the intestinal barrier can become slightly more permeable, allowing inflammatory molecules to enter the bloodstream more easily. This contributes to systemic inflammation that affects other organs. Changes in the microbiome also influence nutrient absorption. The body may extract vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients less efficiently, even when diet remains consistent. Appetite regulation can shift, sometimes leading to reduced hunger or unintended weight loss. Because the gut communicates with the brain through neural, hormonal, and immune pathways, microbial imbalance can also affect mood, cognitive clarity, and stress resilience. Medications commonly used in older age, such as antibiotics or acid-suppressing drugs, can further disrupt microbial balance. Reduced dietary variety, lower fiber intake, and decreased physical activity may compound these effects. Since these changes develop gradually, individuals may only notice mild bloating, altered bowel habits, or subtle fluctuations in energy. Beneath these minor symptoms lies a transformation in one of the body's most influential regulatory systems. The sixth keynote focuses on the gradual decline in cellular repair mechanisms that becomes more pronounced after the age of 80. Throughout life, the body depends on highly coordinated systems to detect damage, repair DNA, recycle worn-out components, and maintain structural integrity. These processes operate continuously and silently, preserving organ function without conscious awareness. With advanced age, however, the efficiency and speed of these repair systems diminish. One major factor is reduced DNA repair capacity. Every day, cells experience thousands of minor DNA injuries from normal metabolism and environmental exposure. In younger individuals, specialized enzymes identify and correct these errors quickly. After 80, this correction process can slow, allowing small mutations or structural abnormalities to accumulate. Over time, this buildup can affect how cells function and divide. Another important mechanism is autophagy, the cellular recycling system that breaks down damaged proteins and organelles so their components can be reused. Autophagy helps prevent the accumulation of dysfunctional material inside cells. As its activity declines, waste products can accumulate, impairing cellular efficiency. Mitochondria, the energy-producing structures within cells, may also become less capable of repairing themselves, leading to decreased energy output and increased oxidative stress. Stem cells, which replenish tissues such as skin, blood, and muscle, lose both number and regenerative potential. This contributes to slower wound healing, thinner skin, and reduced resilience after illness or injury. Cellular communication signals that coordinate repair responses may become less synchronized, meaning tissues do not regenerate as seamlessly as they once did. These shifts unfold gradually and invisibly. A person may simply notice longer recovery times after exertion or minor injuries that take more time to heal. Beneath these everyday observations lies a fundamental biological change in the body's ability to restore and renew itself at the cellular level. The seventh keynote addresses the slowing of metabolism that commonly occurs after the age of 80, even when body weight appears relatively stable. Metabolism refers to the sum of all chemical reactions that convert food into energy and maintain vital functions. With advanced age, basal metabolic rate declines, largely because of reductions in muscle mass and shifts in hormonal signaling. Since muscle tissue is metabolically active and burns more calories at rest than fat tissue, its gradual loss lowers daily energy expenditure. Hormonal changes also contribute to metabolic slowing. Levels of thyroid hormones, growth hormone, and sex hormones may decrease, subtly reducing the body's ability to efficiently convert nutrients into usable energy. Insulin sensitivity can decline, meaning cells respond less effectively to insulin signal to absorb glucose from the bloodstream. As a result, blood sugar levels may fluctuate more easily, even without major dietary changes. This metabolic shift does not always produce obvious symptoms, but can increase vulnerability to fatigue and impaired glucose regulation. Mitochondria, the energy-producing structures inside cells, may generate less adenosine triphosphate, the molecule that powers cellular activity. At the same time, they may produce more reactive oxygen species, which can interfere with normal metabolic pathways. Digestive efficiency may also change, affecting how proteins, fats, and carbohydrates are processed. Appetite regulation hormones such as leptin and ghrelin can become less balanced, sometimes leading to reduced hunger or unintentional weight loss. Because these changes unfold gradually, many individuals attribute lower energy levels or decreased stamina simply to getting older. However, the underlying process involves a complex recalibration of energy production, hormonal balance, and nutrient utilization. This quiet metabolic slowdown influences not only body composition, but also overall vitality and resilience in advanced age. The eighth keynote focuses on subtle cognitive shifts that often emerge after the age of 80 and are closely linked to vascular and metabolic health. These changes are usually gradual and may not resemble dramatic memory loss. Instead, they can appear as slower word retrieval, reduced processing speed, mild difficulty multitasking, or taking longer to learn new information. Because these shifts develop progressively, many individuals consider them a normal part of aging rather than signs of underlying biological changes. One major contributor is vascular health. The brain depends on a dense network of tiny blood vessels to deliver oxygen and glucose continuously. As arteries stiffen and microvascular circulation becomes less efficient, certain brain regions may receive slightly reduced blood flow. Even small decreases in circulation can influence attention, executive function, and short-term memory. These effects may not cause noticeable impairment at first, but can subtly affect daily tasks that require quick thinking or mental flexibility. Metabolic factors also play a role. If insulin sensitivity declines, brain cells may struggle to use glucose efficiently for energy. The brain is highly energy dependent, and even mild disruptions in fuel utilization can influence concentration and mental clarity. Chronic low-grade inflammation may further interfere with communication between neurons, affecting synaptic function and signal transmission. Additionally, changes in sleep patterns, hormonal balance, and the gut microbiome can indirectly influence cognitive performance. Sleep fragmentation, which becomes more common with age, may impair memory consolidation. Reduced production of certain neurotransmitters can affect mood and cognitive sharpness. Because these processes interact, the resulting cognitive shifts are often multifactorial rather than caused by a single factor. These changes are typically subtle and fluctuate from day to day, making them easy to overlook. Beneath these mild alterations in thinking speed and recall lies a complex interplay between circulation, metabolism, and brain cell communication. The ninth keynote emphasizes that many biological changes occurring after the age of 80 are not fixed outcomes, but modifiable processes influenced by daily behaviors. Aging reflects the cumulative effect of cellular stress, environmental exposure, and lifestyle patterns over decades. While genetic factors establish a baseline, gene expression is highly responsive to external signals such as nutrition, physical activity, sleep quality, and stress levels. This responsiveness continues even in advanced age. Chronic low-grade inflammation, for example, can be influenced by dietary composition. Diets rich in fiber, phytonutrients, and healthy fats help regulate inflammatory pathways and support gut microbial balance. Regular physical activity stimulates mitochondrial function, improves insulin sensitivity, and enhances blood vessel flexibility, directly counteracting metabolic and vascular decline. Resistance exercises, in particular, promote muscle protein synthesis and preserve strength, even in individuals well into their 80s. Sleep plays a critical regulatory role in immune coordination, hormone balance, and cellular repair. During deep sleep, the body clears metabolic waste from the brain and releases growth-related hormones that assist tissue maintenance. Consistent sleep patterns can therefore influence cognitive clarity and resilience. Stress management also affects biological aging. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which can impair immune precision, raise blood sugar levels, and increase inflammatory signaling. Practices that reduce stress help recalibrate these systems. Nutrient sufficiency becomes increasingly important, as absorption efficiency may decline. Adequate intake of protein, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals support cellular repair and immune function. Even small, consistent adjustments in diet and movement can shift biological pathways toward maintenance rather than deterioration. Because these systems remain adaptable, lifestyle choices continue to send molecular signals that influence inflammation, metabolism, vascular integrity, and tissue regeneration, demonstrating that advanced age does not eliminate the body's capacity for biological responsiveness. The 10th keynote highlights that many of the silent changes occurring after 80 are detectable early and can be influenced or slowed with targeted nutrition and lifestyle strategies. Even though the body's systems naturally decline with age, the pace and severity of these changes are not fixed, and interventions can significantly alter outcomes. Nutrition plays a central role because the foods we consume provide both fuel and molecular signals that influence inflammation, immune function, and cellular repair. Diets rich in colorful vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and healthy fats supply antioxidants and phytonutrients that help neutralize oxidative stress, reduce low-grade inflammation, and support cardiovascular health. Adequate protein intake is particularly important for preserving muscle mass and maintaining metabolic efficiency, as aging muscles become less responsive to protein unless intake is sufficient. Physical activity is equally critical. Regular movement improves blood vessel elasticity, enhances mitochondrial function, and stimulates muscle protein synthesis. Resistance training, even at low intensity, preserves strength and balance, which reduces the risk of falls and supports independence. Aerobic activity boosts circulation and oxygen delivery to the brain, helping maintain cognitive function. Sleep and stress management also play a major role. Deep restorative sleep facilitates cellular repair, hormone regulation, and memory consolidation, while chronic stress can accelerate inflammation, disrupt metabolism, and impair immune precision. Emerging research also emphasizes the importance of gut health. Consuming fiber-rich and fermented foods helps maintain microbial diversity, supporting digestion, immunity, and even mood regulation. Hydration and moderation in alcohol or highly processed foods further reinforce these protective effects. These interventions do not reverse aging entirely, but they shift biological processes toward resilience and functional maintenance. Even subtle, consistent adjustments in diet, movement, sleep, and stress management provide cumulative benefits, signaling to the body that repair, balance, and regeneration remain priorities, demonstrating that age-related changes are not inevitable but can be actively managed and supported through lifestyle choices. In conclusion, turning 80 is not just a milestone. It is a testament to resilience, experience, and the remarkable adaptability of the human body. While silent changes such as low-grade inflammation, vascular stiffening, muscle loss, immune shifts, and alterations in the gut and metabolism unfold quietly, understanding them empowers us to respond proactively. These transformations are not inevitabilities. They are signals that guide how we can nourish, move, and care for ourselves. With mindful nutrition, regular physical activity, restorative sleep, and attention to stress and gut health, the body continues to repair, regenerate, and thrive even in advanced age. Aging is less about passive decline and more about an ongoing conversation between our choices and our biology, a conversation that remains vibrant at 80 and beyond. So embrace these years with awareness and purpose. Listen to your body's quiet messages, honor its needs, and take small, consistent steps towards supporting its resilience. Every healthy habit is a signal of care, every movement a declaration of strength, and every mindful meal a message of vitality. I wish each of you the very best on your journey through life's later decades. May your health, energy, and curiosity continue to flourish. Thank you for your attention, your openness to learning, and your commitment to embracing the wisdom that comes with age. Good luck, and may you thrive in every year ahead.